boyfriend made me delete all my social media. My boyfriend convinced me to delete Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook because he said social media was toxic for relationships. We've been dating for 13 months, and the social media thing started around month 4 when he commented that I posted too much online, and it made me seem desperate for attention. He said girls who really love their boyfriends don't need validation from strangers. At first, I just posted less, but he would still get upset whenever I shared anything. He'd analyze my captions and ask why I was trying to get other guys to notice me, or why I needed everyone to know what I was doing. He said he didn't post on social media because he valued privacy, and that if I really cared about our relationship, I'd do the same. He made it sound like deleting my accounts was a mature choice that serious couples make together. So I deleted Instagram first, thinking it would make him happy. He praised me for being so mature, and said now we could focus on each other without digital distractions. But then he started complaining about my other platforms. He said TikTok was full of thirst traps and questioned why I needed Facebook when I could just text my real friends directly. He would ask if I was choosing random internet people over our relationship. He made each deletion feel like a test of my love. Within 2 months, I deleted all my social media, and he seemed satisfied. What I didn't realize was that this meant losing touch with most of my friends. People stopped inviting me to things because they'd post about events on Instagram. Group chats moved to platforms I no longer had access to. My friend Veronica tried to stay in touch through texting, but even that became difficult because he would read over my shoulder and comment on our conversations. He'd question why Veronica was texting me so much. He started suggesting I spend less time with certain friends. Veronica was too dramatic. My college friend Beth was too flirty with guys. My coworker Maya talked about partying too much. He said real couples didn't need big friend groups. The isolation happened so gradually I didn't notice until my sister pointed out that I never went anywhere without him anymore. She said I used to be social and active, but now I only did things he wanted to do. When I mentioned this, he said my sister was probably jealous that I was in a happy relationship and that people who are single often try to sabotage couples. He convinced me that everyone around me had ulterior motives except for him. Last week, Veronica showed up at my apartment because she'd been worried about me. He answered the door and told her I was busy and couldn't talk. After Veronica left, he said it was rude of her to show up unannounced and that real friends would respect our privacy. But something about the interaction bothered me because I realized he had been answering for me without even asking what I wanted. I started thinking about how isolated I'd become. I'd lost touch with dozens of friends. I had no idea what was happening in anyone's life. I felt completely disconnected from the world. When I told him I wanted to reactivate my Instagram, he got angry and said I was going back on my commitment to our relationship. He said if I reactivated my accounts, he'd know I was trying to get attention from other guys. He made recreating social media sound like cheating. I told him that staying connected with friends wasn't the same as seeking attention from strangers, but he said that's how it always starts. The conversation ended with him saying if social media was more important than our relationship, then maybe we shouldn't be together. My sister came over when he was at work and said she'd been talking to Veronica about how worried they both were. They said I'd become a completely different person and that isolation was a major red flag for abuse. I told my sister that he wasn't abusive, he just valued privacy. But even as I said it, I realized I was repeating his exact words rather than thinking for myself. My sister asked me when was the last time I'd made a decision without considering his opinion first. I couldn't remember. That night, I reactivated my Instagram without telling him. Within an hour, I had messages from people asking where I'd been. Several friends said they'd tried to reach out, but he had told them I was busy or didn't want to talk. He had been screening my communications while making it seem like my choice to delete social media had naturally led to losing touch with people. When he saw I'd reactivated Instagram, he accused me of going behind his back. He said he couldn't be with someone who chose social media attention over their relationship. I told him that reconnecting with friends wasn't about attention. It was about maintaining healthy relationships outside of us. He said healthy relationships don't need outside people. That's when I realized he had been using isolation as a control tactic. Removing my social media removed my support network and made me completely dependent on him. I broke up with him that night and he immediately started love bombing me with apologies and promises to change. It's been 3 weeks since the breakup and I'm rebuilding my social connections. I've apologized to friends I pushed away and explained that I'd been in a controlling relationship. Most of them have been understanding. The experience taught me that isolation is one of the first signs of an abusive relationship and that anyone who wants you to cut off contact with friends and family is showing major red flags.